everyone, welcome back to the Drivers Room. We're in the Sunday League again today, Season 5, Round 7, Tier 1, racing the Group 3 BMWs at Suzuka. See how qualifying went today. Pole position today we have Gary. In second place today we have Martin. In third place today we have Alex. Fourth place today we have Drsl. In fifth place we have Sean. Sixth on the grid today is Coolio. In seventh place is Flapjack. Eighth on the grid is myself, DJ Rice. In ninth place we have Mungino. 10th on the grid we have JC. In 11th place we have Muller. 12th on the grid is Bullet. In 13th place MJR Mercer. In 14th today is Rocker. And in 15th is MS2 Fast for You. That is our grid walk for Suzuka. Let's get underway. So here we are then, round 7 of Tier 1, about to get underway at Suzuka. The first Sunday League I think I commentated with Gary, sticking on pole. And looks like he's got away cleanly, no tyre smoke there, so yeah, clean getaway. Gary on pole might be holding on to second. Looks like Coolio's had a really good start. A really good launch. He's up the inside of turn 1 on Drsl and Alex. I think Alex was just hung out to dry on the outside there. Yeah, Alex dropping right through the grid as he's struggling. There's someone else on track. I think that's Drsl cutting across the track now as well. I think we'll have to take a look back at this start, but quick run through the grid, see where everyone is. So Gary and Martin get away cleanly. Coolio blinding start up into third place. Mungino up into fourth from 9th on the grid. Myself up into 5th. So let's have a little look back. So as we go back to the start of the race, looking, let's say, on board, the chase cam view for myself, not the best view in the world, but quite a lot of things kicked off at that first corner, and this will give us a good view of things. Up ahead you see Coolio having a blinding start, Mungino having a really good launch as well, and up ahead you see the 3 cars colliding of Coolio, Alex and Drsl, and this is Drsl now just on the outside, just losing it on the grass there. But as well as up ahead you had myself, I'm not too sure, I think it was myself, who did we have? JC and Sean side by side into turn 1, and a similar outcome with I think JC on the outside, similar to Alex there, but quite a shake up on that opening lap. So Alex losing out massively, falling through the grid. Not as bad as Drsl, as you did see Drsl trying to rejoin at turn 2 and losing the back end across the grass. So Mungino up to 4th from 9th, as I say, myself up to 5th from 8th. Mr. Sean back up into 6th. I think Mr. Sean bogged down a little bit, but did steer clear of most of the carnage at the opening couple of corners there. So Alex recovering in 7th place now, Bullet in 8th, JC in 9th. So JC, as I say, I think he was on the outside of myself and Sean going into turn 1. And it's settling down in 9th place now. Flapjack in 10th. Where did Flapjack start? Flapjack started in 7th place, so he's lost out a little bit at the start there as well. So he's side by side. MJR Mercer and Rocker again. These 2 cars just trading paint. There's someone off the track further ahead there, I'm not too sure. And it's Alex again. Alex has absolutely binned it somewhere. And this will allow Drsl to make up a place, but let's go back to the lead of the race and we'll run through the order again. So Gary out in the lead, doing a good job, just maintaining, just weathering a little bit of pressure from Martin B. Coolio sticking right close to these 2 as well. So really good launch from Coolio, getting himself up to what is 3rd place now. A little bit of a gap back to 4th place Mungino, with just losing around half a second or so on that last lap, not much at all. Mr. Sean running in clean air in 5th. You've got a gaggle of cars behind, 6th, 7th, 8th and 9th, and that is myself running really wide at turn 1, I think. Yeah, had a bit of a shocker there, so barely 2 laps in, and I've got no idea what is going on. Some prime commentating here, but there's myself recovering in 11th place now, so it was up into 5th at one point, so falling back through the grid. MS2 Fast Few in 13th, and Drsl in 14th. Looks like we have lost Alex from the back, first retirement of the day. So this will probably shake things up in the championship as well. Try and cover a bit of the standings in round 8, the final round of the season. Have a proper rundown of how the season has gone so far. It's 3 minutes into the race. You've got a little bit of action behind, I think, with Flapjack and JC and Mercer. Oh no, JC's a little bit further. Oh, JC's off the track further back there. Just called out us. Sorry again, Flapjack confused. 2 red cars there. Flapjack leading the way of this battle for 7th, 8th and 9th. Muller not far behind in 10th. So these positions in the midfield have also chopped and changed quite a bit. This is definitely one of the most frantic starts to a Sunday League race I've commentated in for quite a while. As you see, Rocker just pulling out the slipstream here for a move into 200R, 130R, and gets the move done. So Flapjack just being sensible there and not going side by side through that extremely fast left-hander. As coming out the final bend now, Muller in 10th place, still just behind this 3-car battle with MS2 Fast Few in 11th place now. So it looks like, I think I've lost another place there, down at 12th. JC running in 13th now, and Drsl still trying to recover back in 14th place. Just checking this 3-car fight. It's pretty much these guys been nose to tail since the opening lap. And yeah, Gary doing a good job out front, just weathering that pressure. Mangino's not really making ground on the top 3 at the moment. And looks like Mr. Sean, similar pace between 4th and 5th place. Mangino and Mr. Sean. Bullet running well with Clean Air in 6th place. He's got a fast car in Flapjack now. Flapjack's got ahead of this battle by the looks of it. Just enough. So he needs to pull a gap on Rocker behind. Looks like he's going to get a toe. No, so I'm getting confused again. He needs to pull a gap on Rocker behind before getting onto the back straight, really. Because you don't want to be under pressure into 130R. So it's obviously not the best place to overtake, but your car can end up in such a great position with the toe. It is a long straight. So I think he's done enough here. The exit of Spoon now, yeah, looks like he's got enough of a gap, whereas Mercer might well be putting pressure on Rocker at the end of the straight. We'll just stay with this for a second. Yeah, not quite close enough. Rocker looks completely flat out around there. Good job in 8th place, and Muller just sitting patiently behind this for the moment, I feel. So MS2 Fast Few starting to close the gap up on the guys ahead now, and you've got myself recovering in 12th. Looks like JC's had an instance somewhere. Drsl up into 13th place now after setting a 2-minute flat on that last lap. Yeah, 2 minute 19 from JC. Looks like he's had a bit of an incident somewhere. Yeah, top 3 still pretty much running nose to tail. Come up to the Degners. Nice and tidy through there. Oh, and that's Mangino out onto the sand. Mr. Sean sort of follows him a little bit. And lovely slide through Degner 2 there. And yeah, Mangino just absolutely bogging down in the sand. So not a huge incident, but lost a chunk of time. Really lost momentum through that section. And recovering with dirty tyres now. You see Mr. Sean just disappearing down the road a little bit. You see how much time Mangino lost there. And could well be under pressure from Bullet. coming towards the end of lap 4. Flapjack in 7th place now. Yeah, it looks like Flapjack might be closing the gap up on Bullet up ahead. 2 seconds quicker on that last lap. So Rocker sets his personal best now as he's broken away from the fight behind. We've got Muller up into 9th place. He's got ahead of MJR Mercer somewhere on track. We have missed that. But yeah, Muller up into 9th place now with MJR Mercer in 10th. Too Fast Few in 11th, also setting his personal best on that last lap, and myself also 2 minute 13 on lap 2 there, losing a massive chunk of time. Drsl in 13th, running consistently, so look, it is a shame excuse me, it is a shame first corner went down how it did, as Drsl would be nose to tail with the top 3, I'd say, at the very least. But we've got Flapjack pitting early, only on 8 minutes, so I think committing to a 2-stopper there. And rejoins the race in 10th place as I think Too Fast Few just unsettled there a little bit. Very difficult, was very unsettled there, and we'll spare his blushes. But yeah, obviously when a car comes out of the pits on this track, not at full speed going into turn 1, they're on the right hand side of the track, so I have the inside of the corner, and yeah, when you're approaching at full speed, if it's the wrong timing, it's very difficult to get right. So Too Fast Few getting caught out there. So JC having a bit of a moment at the back there as well, again by the looks of it. So back with the top 3 again now on the 9 minute mark. As I think Mangino's done the same thing again through the Degners, and got bogged down in the sand. He's getting absolutely swamped by this pack now. As Flapjack out on the fresh rubber, finds himself in all sorts of battles. Yeah, Mangino falling right to the back of this fight, I feel. As Flapjack with the fresh rubber should be able to take the inside of the spoon pretty comfortably. Yeah, Mangino's race taking a massive hit there. JC pitting at the back as well, so a few cars coming into a 2-stop strategy today. We shall see how this pans out, and the leader of the race committing to a 2-stopper on the 10 minute mark, so very interesting. Martin B taking the lead of the race for the moment. Coolio not that far behind in second, needs to close up that gap a little bit on Martin and get the benefit of the tow. Looks like Martin's done enough to break it at the moment. But yeah, very interesting. So the tactics look like they're being split at the top 3. So Gary coming back out in 3rd place now, should be very, very quick on this thing. He's got a little bit of clean air to run in before he gets close to Coolio. Mr. Sean in 4th place. Still running good tyre wear from Mr. Sean. Got quite a few drivers in Tier 1 now. Martin B as well in particular, very, very, very good tyre management. Coolio always seems to manage the first stint out pretty well, and is doing so at the moment. So he's going to have a very, very quick German behind him very soon. I've got to stop saying very. So Mr. Sean still running consistently in 4th place, Bullet in 5th. So Rocker in 6th. Look at this battle behind as Flapjack looking to get the job done on this fresh rubber. The first man of the race to pit really needs to make the most of this stint, I feel. And he's got a better exit out of the hairpin there as he's side by side with Muller CJ, and looks like he's got that done pretty comfortably before Spoon. And next man down the road will be Rocker. As you see the tyre wear just starting to kick in a bit now. I feel there will be quite a bit of pace difference between these 2 cars at this stage of the race, and may well be close enough into 130. We'll see. Let's have a quick on board, see the effects of the slipstream. Yeah, just not long enough. Just needs to position himself well through the final corner. Slingshot his way past into turn. As Rocker has a big moment there through the Casio triangle and does recover and takes that opportunity to dive into the pits. So Mungino in a bit of a slide there. I think he was in two minds whether he's going to pit or not there. But yeah, quite a few drivers opting for what looks like a two-stopper today. I've already stopped by looks of it out of fresh rubber. Just got myself ahead of MJR Mercer, who hasn't stopped yet. So, and Mercer taking a look into turn one, just about keeping that on the tarmac and retaining what is 10th place at the moment. MJR Mercer in 11. Too Fast Few also not stopped yet. JC at the back has made a stop. And has Coolio pitted? Yep, Coolio has pitted, so he has rejoined the race in 4th place. Hasn't been overtaken there. I think Mr. Sean just getting the job done in the pits, so to speak. Mr. Sean obviously not pitting yet. Coolio out now. So around the 12-minute mark. I don't think that's long enough to make this a one-stopper, but not many drivers are today by looks. So you've got Mr. Sean hasn't stopped yet. Really good tyre wear from Sean, similar to Martin B, out in the lead, but again, consistent lap times from Martin, 2-minute flat on the past 3 laps. We'll see what, I think this will be Gary's first flying lap, as he does go purple, so doing absolutely everything he can to make this two-stopper work today. And we'll see how these two contrasting strategies play out. So at the 14-minute mark now, a little bit early for yes, Martin B does go around again for another lap. 2:01 last time around, 1:59.5 from Gary in 2nd place. So going purple there. So as I say, doing exactly what he should be doing at this stage of the race. 2-minute flat from Mr. Sean there, who still hasn't pitted. So yeah, really good pace from Sean, doing enough to just about stay ahead of Coolio in 4th, and you feel Sean and Martin B will be pitting on the next lap, as you've got a few guys pitting in the background there, which promotes Flapjack back up to 5th place. So Flapjack, the earliest man to stop, now finally finds himself running in a bit of clean air. Also lapping at the 2-minute mark. Rocker just coming through now to start his first flying lap, I believe. Closely followed by Muller, who is stretching his first stint out for one more lap before he makes his first pit stop, running with a good track position at the moment. Nevertheless, Bullet out on fresh rubber now, should be good until the end, running in what is now 8th. Mungino on the racing mediums in 9th place, so see what sort of pace he can get out of those tyres. And again, Mercer and Too Fast Few has pitted, so we'll see how close they are. If Too Fast Few can get a bit of an undercut done and gain a place on Mercer. That's myself in 11th. Pretty sure I was ahead of Mercer earlier, so I had a moment somewhere, I think. Mercer back up into the final top 10 position for the moment. So Too Fast Few out on the fresh rubber now. So we'll see how close they are to Mercer. We're back with the lead of the race, and we have just missed Gary taking the lead. I do believe that was on the back straight, as Martin B does peel off into the pits as well. So Gary in the lead of the race with 1:59.6. Again, very quick lap time. Mr. Sean pitting from 4th place, so this will promote Coolio back up into 2nd. Or not. It's going to be very close between himself and Martin, but just about got enough overspeed there to carry it nice and clean through turns 1 and 2. Should proclaim 2nd place, but will be under pressure in a lap or 2, I feel, as the tyre degradation begins to kick in. So Coolio pitting around the 12-minute mark. I feel he will have to stop again. So Martin rejoins in 3rd. Mr. Sean rejoins in 4th. So pitted in 4th, rejoins in 4th, just ahead of Flapjack there. So that's pretty crucial. Pretty crucial for Sean to get on with the job now. We're already 17-minute mark. And yeah, so Flapjack, don't think he's really going to be in a position to fight. Could probably just benefit from the tow from the car ahead. I think, yeah, we've just missed an instant with Muller there running. I think he ran wide in turn 1, so he's running with a bit of engine damage. And Mercer out on the pits as well, so he was taking a note of that. And I think Too Fast Hughes hasn't had a great 158 seems like an okay out lap. Mercer doing more than enough to rejoin the race in 10th place, so that did promote myself back up to 9th out. Was following Mercer by about a second before he pitted. A couple of minutes to go now till the 20-minute mark, and I think we're going to see a flood of pit stops again, and this race will start to make a bit more sense in the midfield anyway. Things are all over the place. It's 1:59.5, very consistent lap times from the leaders. Coolio still running in second, 1:59.6 on that last lap. And Might Be just starting his first flying lap. So you've got Flapjack pitting from 5th on the 18-minute mark, so he's done an 8-minute stint and a 10-minute stint. Now leaving himself with a 12-minute stint to finish the race. And the next man down the road is Rocker. I don't think he's close enough. I think he is, as Flapjack's just coming out of the pits now. Yeah, Rocker cleanly in front of Flapjack. Not sure if Rocker has to stop again. I think he was one of the guys that stopped around the 10-minute mark, so may well have to stop again. I'm not too sure if Bullet does. He's got a good tyre wear at the moment, but yeah, either way, Flapjack should be good to the end now. Has carried some good pace when he's found himself in clean air, but has found himself in battles throughout this race. And he's already on the gearbox of Rocker here. As they go through the Degners, not really an overtaking opportunity, but good exit from here into the hairpin will be. You see Rocker sticking to the left-hand side of the track to stay defensive into the hairpin. And Flapjack with a fresh rubber goes a long way around the outside. And really good traction on the exit. I don't know if he's done enough there. Really good overtake if he has. And Rocker just can't keep the same pace around the outside of the corner there. And it looks like Flapjack has done enough here. Should be a little bit later on the brakes into Spoon. Yeah, really good overtake around the hairpin, around the outside, and then the following exit on the straight after that. So we've got Gary pitting from the lead, and Coolio going round again. There's a little bit of lag spike in there from Martin B by the looks of it, but these two guys should take first and second place, and that is really close. And Gary rejoins in third. Good to the end of the race now though, so this should be interesting. We got Coolio in the lead of the race. I do feel that he has to pit again, but 10 minutes to go. Those tyres are going to be extremely worn towards the end. There's absolutely no position to yield this at the moment. Martin B and Gary right behind. Must be immense pressure as he does run a little bit wide, and that does allow Martin B through, and Gary on the outside of Degner 1, not an ideal place to be, just gets run off track there. Just think his overspeed just took him to the wrong part of the track. You do not want to be on the outside of them Degners, especially with Coolio on the slightly worn rubber. So that's done Martin a massive favour there. He's got to be hoping Coolio can keep this fight going for a little bit, so he can extend this gap out in front. It's shaping up to be a very interesting finish, as I think Gary just scrubbing the tyres a little bit, obviously going out on the sand, having to suffer some dirty tyres for a couple of corners, but he's got a good exit here. I don't know if he's going to be close enough into 130R. We shall see. As looks like Martin B's already broken the toe. He's not quite close enough. Again, needs to position himself well out of the Casio triangle onto the main straight and get the job done in the turn. He's done it into the braking zone of the triangle though. Look at that. Good, really good overtake there. So I've got to remember I'm commentating and not just watching the race sometimes. But right, free to get on with the job now, as these two look like they will be racing to the finish. Martin B with a couple of seconds advantage at the moment. So Gary setting some unbelievable pace. Flick back to that in a minute. Coolio rejoins the race in third. A really quick pit stop for Coolio. I don't think he took on any fuel there. So just has to manage that a little bit to the end, I feel. He's got Rocker pitting as well in the background. I feel most of the midfield would have made their pit stop already. We'll run through the grid. We may have missed some overtakes in the midfield during that battle for the lead, but we can't catch everything. Mr. Sean in fourth place now, just outside the podium spots. He's not that far behind Coolio at the moment, and is obviously much better off on fuel, so we'll keep an eye on that. Flapjack in fifth place in clean air's got quite a sizable gap to Mr. Sean up ahead. I think it's just maintaining a second or two gap over Bullet at the moment. Rocker rejoining in seventh place after his last pit stop of the race, running in clean air front and back. Myself and Mercer running close together again. Looks like I'm out on the fresher rubber at the moment, slightly skinnier on fuel. It's running in 8th place at the moment. Mercer in 9th, Muller in 10th, too fast for you in 11th. Mungino may well be a retirement for Mungino, and JC looks like he's looking for the exit road. If we can get some marshals down there to open up the barrier and pull him out there, that would be lovely. Looks like we've got a couple of retirements at the back of the field. So back with the lead of the race, getting yellows now there as the marshals recover JC's car. Crossing line going purple. So with Gary turning the wick up 59 flat on that last lap. So yeah, it's the German turning the wick up in second place. Martin B responding as best he can, but he does have to manage those tyres until the end. And this guy is absolutely on it at the moment, just slowly closing that gap up. Yeah, it's got to be said, Tier 1 this season has some insanely quick drivers in it. So we have Mr. Sean up into third. So it's Coolio pitted there, I think, or he's had an incident somewhere. I think he might have just crashed actually. Yeah, because he hasn't taken on any more fuel. So we won't go. We'll spare his blushes. Won't go back. But we've got Mr. Sean running up in the final podium spot now. Consistent race from Mr. Sean. Hasn't had much to do. He had a bit of an eventful opening lap or two, and got through some battles. But yeah, consistent driving sees him in third place at the moment, and same as Flapjack. Flapjack has had a few more battles to deal with, but yeah, running in fourth place there. It's a big mistake from Coolio towards the end of the race. Just under 5 minutes of this race left to go. Yeah, Bullet having a consistent race as well. Quiet one, just running in sixth by himself at the moment. And Coolio critical on fuel. I think he may have to stop again, you know, and that may well give Bullet a look towards the end of the race. Again, we'll check back on that in a minute. But Rocker in seventh place, myself in eighth. Just pulled a bit of a gap to Mercer as he starts to fall back into the clutches of Muller. Final top 10 spot. I think these two guys, the one's running closest at the moment. And up ahead, we have missed an overtake for the lead again. This time we will go back. Let's have a look. So 200 board just flying around the circuit there. So yeah, just rejoining the midway point of lap 13. It's going up to Spoons. And Martin's still got a second or two gap over Gary in second place. And yeah, not too sure. Oh, he runs wide on the exit of Spoon, just about avoids contact with a wall there. It's a very, very rare mistake from Martin B. As Gary takes the lead. That relentless pace paying off, and yeah, as I say, that is an extremely rare occurrence. And Gary does take the lead of the race. Don't think there's going to be much Martin can do from here now. Unless Gary's really cooked his tyres on those opening couple of laps. But goes quicker again, 58.8. Yeah, relentless pace today, so it's looking like the two-stopper is was the prime strategy today. Gary really making it work. As Mr. Sean coming through. And, saying that, has Mr. Sean's definitely made the one-stop work today with some very consistent pace. And yeah, Coolio does pit again for fuel. So it's going to be really close between Bullet and Coolio now on the in the entry of turn 1. So we keep an eye on this now. Just looking on the graphic, yeah, there's Coolio just coming out the pits now. This is going to be extremely close. As Bullet just sweeps around the outside, just about got himself a car's length in front. And takes 5th place, but yeah, Coolio not putting on fresh tyres there, doing all he could to save time in the pit stop, but it just weren't enough. And but yeah, Bullet's although taking 5th place, he's got a job to do now. As you see, the tyre wear getting pretty bad on Bullet's car, and Coolio all over the back of him at the moment. Yeah, really good overtake into turn 1 there. You've got to be just absolutely on it, pinpoint accurate, and yeah, got the job done on tyres. But defensive into the hairpin. We see if Coolio looks for a similar move that Flapjack done earlier in the race. Just not quite there. Just needs a good exit again. Just needs to be patient, I feel, because I think Bullet's going to suffer from that tyre wear. There's one more lap to go after this. To Spoon now. I think these two guys closest on track. I think we've still got a fight going on between Muller and MJR Mercer. We'll check on that in a second, but that is Coolio reclaiming 5th place into Spoon, and yeah, should be good from here. I think obviously Bullet knows there's only so much worth fighting. Really bad tyre wear kicking in now. Yeah, just outside the top 5. So good consistent race from a few drivers today. Yeah, a quick run through the grid before we watch people come over for the checkered flag. So this is the last lap for pretty much everyone. I got Gary out in the leads, Martin B in 2nd place now, Mr. Sean in 3rd place, Flapjack in 4th, Coolio in 5th. Bullet is closed down the main straight. We'll just watch this and then we'll flick through the rest of the grid. Don't think he's close enough to make a move into turn 1. So yeah, just holding on to 6th place for now. Rocker in 7th again, quiet, consistent drive from Rocker. I don't think he's really put a foot wrong today. Myself in 8th place, done enough to maintain the gap over this battle for 9th and 10th behind, as Muller just not close enough into turn 1 there. Pretty much bumper to bumper. Too fast, you coming around the last corner in 11th place. Back with the leader of the race. I think the two-stop strategy has been yeah, just a bit too quick today, and yeah, it's definitely absolutely nailed the lap times when it's counted. Small mistake for Martin earlier, but even saying that, you see the gap now. Say the two-stop strategy just working out a little bit better. Come through 130R for the last time, going critical on fuel, so good judgment on the fuel levels. And this is Gary to take the checkered flag. Congratulations, winner round 7, season 5, tier 1. Martin B bringing it home in 2nd place, and a really good drive from Mr. Sean picking up the final podium spot. So good, quite consistent drive from Mr. Sean. You see the lap deltas on the right hand side there. Flapjack bringing it home in full. Very eventful race for Flapjack. He absolutely nailed the lap times as well when in clean air. Just outside the podium spots today. Unlucky from Coolio, he's had to make 1 or 2 pit stops more than he wanted, but just rounding out the top 5, doing enough to stay ahead of Bullet until the end there in 5th place. Bullet in 6th. A little bit further down the road again, Rocker. As I was saying, good race from Rocker. Very consistent lap times also. Bring it home in 7th place. And don't know where I've gone. There we go. 8th place. And Muller and Mercer fighting to the last corner. I think Muller's nicked it on the line. Muller in 9th place and Mercer in 10th. So those two were fighting for ages on that last lap. And Muller's been very, very patient, and he's just nicked it on the line. MS2 Fast Few bringing it home in 11th place. But yeah, that was the Drivers Room Sunday League Season 5 Round 7 Tier 1. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next week.